Greetings, Commanders. I'm Commander Jypson, and today we're going to look at some smuggling after the post 1.3 patch. Alright, so here you can see my Anaconda that we're going to be using. I'm using a power plant, and everything else is pretty much a D, except for the frame shift drive to get me the maximum jump. And everything else here you can see I stocked up on cargo racks to give me maximum cargo, and at the bottom here we just got a class Delta shield generator just to protect us against some scrapes and bumps while we're docking. For hard points, so we're going with no weapons at all. We're just doing a heat seek launcher and a chaff launcher. You can do more than one of each, but I found that you really only need one to make it work well. Alright, so you can see that we've got a jump range of almost 20 light years, and we've got a max cargo capacity of 452 tons, or units, or whatever you want to call them. Alright, so as you can see on the main screen here, we are at Picard Hub, and this is actually where we're going to be picking up our Imperial Slaves. So we go to the commodities market, and scroll down. Alright, Imperial Slaves. Alright, so they've got a high supply, so that's real good. That's what we're looking for, so we can maximize our profits. So we're going to load up on all 452 Imperial Slaves. Alright, so now let's see where we're going to be heading out. We're going to go ahead and click on the galaxy map. Alright, and what we're looking for is our power play view, and then we're going to go down to Anaconda Lane, which I believe is how you pronounce it, and we're going to look for a starport that's in his territory, because then we're guaranteed a black market. So the key is to find a port where Imperial Slaves are prohibited and where they are wanted. So you're going to want to look for like an extraction or something like that. So we're going to be heading to 34 Pegasi, and then we're just going to be going to the first one here, which is Web Port. And I already got a ship docked there, and that's pretty much just marking it for me so I can easily find it on the map. So as you can see here, Imperial Slaves are prohibited, so this is exactly what we're looking for. Alright, so let's launch. I've had a lot of good luck with the Anaconda. The Anaconda is a really versatile ship. You can do a lot with it, and I've been using the Anaconda since I broke, I think, 200 million, so I could outfit it for full trading, and it has paid itself off multiple times. Love this ship. Alright, so we're just going to be exiting here as normal. Of course, we have to watch out for the Orca here. And just an NPC, so we don't have to worry about them ramming us to death. And we're going to be good pilots and go out the green side. Alright, so we can boost as soon as we get out, as long as we're clear. It says we're speeding, but that really doesn't matter. It really only matters if you ram into somebody, then I believe you start to get fined. So as long as you aren't in the way, and no one is in the way of you, just go ahead and boost on your way out. So you can get out of mass lock and jump out of the system. This setup that I'm running right now, it's on a 2-jump route. This is the best I can do to maximize profits both ways. So we gotta jump twice here.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Alright, so first stop. And we don't actually have a fuel scoop on board, so we're not going to be doing any scooping. We're just going to get ourselves lined up and start the countdown. And we'll bask a little bit in the Empire's greatness. Alright, and now we're off to our final jump. Yep, back in hyperspace, so keep an eye out for any Thargoids. We're good. Alright, so we've already got our waypoint for Web Port, where we're going to be smuggling in our Imperial Slaves. So we're just going to do a quick lineup here. and give her full power. Now, this is usually the most boring part of the transit, because you don't get interdicted that often with NPCs. You know, maybe if you're playing an open, you're going to get interdicted a little bit more by players, but the NPC interdictions can be fun. They've got a lot more dialogue now, so that's interesting. Alright, so we're coming up on web port here, so we're going to perform some maneuvers to make sure that we come in generally facing the opening to the port. And to do that, you kind of want to slide in around the planet to come at the port from the planet's perspective, because all of the port's entrances are going to be facing towards the planet. Alright, so now we're just going to keep managing our speed here so we can kind of maintain around a 6-second time to target. And as we get closer, we can actually accelerate a little bit more so we hit the safe disengage distance. Okay, so here we are, web port. Now if you look down on the bottom right of the screen, you'll see that we are indeed carrying illicit cargo. So what we're going to want to do is boost up until we get within 7.5 kilometers so we can make our document request. Alright, it is granted. So now we immediately go down into silent running and deploy a heat sink. Now silent running will make us pretty much invisible to the game's radar. Now they still can physically see you, and if one of them gets curious, they can actually select you and scan you, and that's when we're going to pop some chaff to interrupt their scan. Because if you get busted, you're going to be looking at like a 1.8 million credit fine. And that really sucks. That's going to take some time out of your gameplay. Alright, so it looks like we're good. So we're just going to squeeze on in with our shields down since we're in silent running. And we're good. We're inside the port so they can no longer scan us. So we're going to drop our silent running and extend our landing gear and see if we can bring us in for a nice smooth landing so we don't get any hull damage on our ship. Because the Anaconda can get expensive to fix, and that's going to eat into our profits, and we do not want that. Alright, successful. Alright, so we're going to go to our starport services. Webport, yes. And I always like to do a quick refuel and reload my heat sink launcher or chaff if I've had to use that. Now instead of going to the commodities market, we're going to go into contacts, and that's actually where we're going to find the black market. So black market. And I want to sell some illegal goods. Yes, slaves. So here we can see that they have a medium demand, which we want. And look at that. That is some nice looking profits for one unit. Let's see what we get for the full hull. Yes, now there is some nice looking profits right there. And that's why we do smuggling, everybody, because man, those profits are fantastic. Now we actually want to complete a loop here to get maximum monies for our time. And I found that if you go into metals and gold, there's a high supply on one side and a high demand on the other, which is perfect. So we're going to make a lot of money on our way back as well. Alright, we're going to exit and exit. And now we're going to pull up our galaxy map here and going to set up our waypoint back to the previous station. Alright, so I parked a ship there for a little marker. Come on, let me select it. Here we go. And then just for fun, we're going to go into the system view and then actually select the actual dock Picard hub. And that's where we're picking up our slaves again and selling our gold. And as we can see here, that we are good. No prohibited stuff that we care about anyways. And now we're going to go for the launch. Now when you're launching from this way, you always get a pretty quick launch because they start retracting the blast shield or magnetic guidance or whatever that little platform thing is in the back. Time to make our exit from the station. Whoa, get a little high there to readjust and see if we can squeeze through without any damage. Alright, we're good. Alright, so now we're just going to keep boosting until we get until we get out of mass lock so we can engage our FSD. Boost. Looks like we get a little bit of escort on the way out too.
Frameshift drive charging.
And we can let them scan us, and sometimes they do when we're leaving because we're not carrying anything illegal. So now the FSD is charging, and we will soon be back into hyperspace, or witch space, I guess we call it here.
3, 2,
Alright, everybody keep your eye out for more Thargoids. Nope, none this time. Okay, so this is jump 1 of our 2-part jump. So really we're just going to realign ourselves with our next jump and start up the FSD as soon as the cooldown is done, since we're not going to be doing any fuel scooping, so we don't have to worry about heat really at this point, or waiting for the scooping to get done. And we're out of here in good time.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Yeah, switch base. Oh, and we're out again. Okay, so now we are back at our original port that we got our slaves from the beginning. Picard hub. I don't think it's Jean-Luc Picard. I don't think he would approve of Imperial Slaves. But who knows? Maybe it's one of his distant relatives. Made his fortunes in the Imperial slave trade. Okay, so here we are lining up on Picard Hub, and we're going to be doing the same thing we did at Webport. We're going to be managing our speed to make sure we stay around a 6-second time to target. So we've got some NPC chatter going on, which I like. They added a lot more chatter, which is enjoyable for me anyways. Alright, so we slipped under the planet so we can get a head-on approach with the port. And now we're just going to close distance and safe disengage. Okay, so as you can see on the bottom right there, this time we are not carrying any illicit cargo, so we can go in for just your standard docking procedure. After 1.3 it says that we're speeding, which means we're going to get in trouble if we hit anybody. But, I mean, you never want to hit anybody, so we're always just going to try and fly safe. After all, the PA and the stations are always reminding us that speed kills, but don't linger or loiter or else you will be killed. A very complicated dichotomy. Something or other. Okay, so we're making it into the port here. Tight squeeze and no damage. Excellent. And we're going to port 2, or pad 2, I
Landing
should
gear
say.
deployed.
Alright, so we're just going to go in for a nice smooth landing. Though we definitely have to be too careful really, because we've got good shields, so unless we slam into the pad, we're not going to be taking any damage.
Docking successful.
But it looks like we'd have a nice safe landing anyways. Alright, starport services, as usual. And we always want to do our quick refuel, and this time we don't have to redo our heat sinks since we didn't use any. Go down to metals, gold, and sell. And yeah, we're going to make some good money here selling gold back to the original station. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we're looking at basically a 1.8 or 1.9 million credit turnaround, and the trip really only takes maybe 11-12 minutes. So that's some really good profits. Alright, so I pulled up my little info screen here and going to my statistics. And as you can see now, smuggling actually counts towards trading. So now I'm up to Tycoon, and that's actually moving up pretty quickly because it's based on profits. What you need to do is generate 1 billion credits in trading to make trading elite. So as you can see here, I've been doing some smuggling runs, and I've been making quite a bit of money. And that all adds to the trading as well, which is also a lot of money. Now when you saw the large smuggling run, that was before they nerfed the smuggling here, so that's why it was like 4 something million, something ridiculous. And I can see why they'd have to nerf that a little bit. That was pretty crazy. Alright everybody, so that is smuggling in 1.3, and as you can see, you can make some really decent money as long as you're willing to put in a little bit of time and find yourselves a good route. Alright, hope you enjoyed, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see all you other commanders out in the black. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought in the comments. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to see all of my latest videos.